Hello everyone and welcome back to LewisNews, your #1 YouTube channel for Spider-Man news. And in today's video, we are going to be covering The Amazing Spider-Man 3. Oh my god, yes, there is news about The Amazing Spider-Man 3. That is absolutely insane. But before we do get into that, if you are new around here, like I said at the start of the video, we cover all types of Spider-Man news from the games, the movies, and the shows, Sonyverse, Venom, MCU, absolutely everything. If it's to do with Spider-Man, we cover it on the channel. So make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss anything if you are a Spider-Man fan. And with that being said, let's get straight into the news. So this comes from web leaks on Twitter. They actually reported on this rumor first, and it has since been relayed off by other news accounts on Twitter reporting the same things and the same information. But once again, like I do say at the start of all of these videos, make sure to take it with a grain of salt, because this isn't from Marvel Studios, this isn't from Sony Pictures or anywhere official. This is purely a leak, but a very good leak at that, and I'll explain that later in the video. Essentially, the leak states that Andrew Garfield is still in negotiations with Sony regarding The Amazing Spider-Man 3. And then it goes on to say that Andrew is very insistent about Dane DeHaan returning to the role of Green Goblin as of now. Now, first of all, if this rumor is true, this is absolutely insane. But Lewis, it's only a rumor. The likelihood is that it's not true. Well, here is the catch. The reason this rumor in particular is so interesting is because earlier in the year, if you do remember, there was other rumors about Andrew Garfield in negotiations with Sony about The Amazing Spider-Man 3. And not only that, there was negotiations between Sony and Andrew about him potentially being the Sonyverse Spider-Man. But then other sources claimed that they parted ways over the idea because of creative differences. So obviously multiple different sources have been coming out about rumors regarding Andrew Garfield in talks about The Amazing Spider-Man and just him returning as Spider-Man in general. And in my personal opinion, when more than one source reports on the same bit of information or two bits of information that are very, very similar, you can almost take some validity from it, because if two different sources are reporting on the same thing, that means that something in there has to be true to what's actually going on behind the scenes. And like I said, we've been hearing from multiple different sources over the last few months, ever since No Way Home's release, about Andrew returning as Spider-Man. And after the fan reaction of No Way Home, it would be silly of Sony not to even consider making an Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Andrew Garfield because of all the money that they could make. Now let's go on to the burning question: what would The Amazing Spider-Man 3 even look like? Now obviously there are two options here. The film could either take place before the events of Spider-Man No Way Home, or it could take place after the events of Spider-Man No Way Home. And to be honest with you, there are two great movies in both of these ideas. If the film takes place before No Way Home, we can explore that version of Peter Parker where he didn't pull his punches, and we could get some type of Spider-Man that is aggressive and violent, and something that we have rarely seen in Spider-Man media, especially on the big screen. I would love to see a violent and ruthless Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and obviously this movie would be about his redemption, him coming back to being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And obviously with all the rumors that the original TASM 3 was going to include the symbiote, this could be a perfect way to introduce the symbiote to the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man universe, by obviously having the symbiote represent the anger and hatred that Peter now carries around with him after Gwen's death. So there's a great movie in there before the events of No Way Home. But I also think there's a great movie post No Way Home as well. Obviously, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man has overcome Gwen's death, and obviously he still gets emotional about it, but it seems like he's a lot better person now than he describes himself as he was before the events of No Way Home. So obviously his character has already gone through that redemption. This was also emphasized by him catching MJ at the end of No Way Home as well. But I think one idea that I would really like to see, if this does take place after the events of No Way Home, is a Spider-Man Blue type of story. Now, if you guys don't know what Spider-Man Blue is, it is a comic book dedicated to the death of Gwen Stacy. And essentially, it retells the events of stuff that happened in the earlier Spider-Man comic books from the 60s and the 70s before Gwen's death. And it goes through the events of Peter and Gwen falling in love up to her eventual death by the Green Goblin. It is then revealed at the end of the comic that Peter is narrating the events to a tape recorder on Valentine's Day for his first love, Gwen Stacy. And Mary Jane also reveals reveals herself at the end of the comic too. I really like the idea of TASM 3 taking inspiration from Spider-Man Blue, since Spider-Man Blue is a comic that is dedicated to Gwen Stacy's death. And obviously, with Gwen's death being in TASM 2 and having it be a big part of his character in No Way Home, it just feels right to go in that direction. And obviously, with Andrew reportedly wanting Dane DeHaan to come back as the Green Goblin as well, almost makes the idea of Spider-Man Blue all that more appealing. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you have any ideas for what TASM 3 could actually be? And what do you think about this leak and rumor? Do you think it's true? Do you not think it's true? Do you think Andrew Garfield is actually in talks with Sony to bring back TASM 3? Let me know in the comment section down below. I want to know what all of you think. With that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to hit a like on it. We're so close to 200 subscribers, and I'd really appreciate it if we could get to 200 by, let's say, I don't know, the 10th of November. That's a good target. Make sure to subscribe for all types of Spider-Man news. As I said, we cover everything from the movies, the games, and the shows. Absolutely everything that Spider-Man, we cover it. So if you're a Spider-Man fan, make sure to be subscribed and hit the post notification bell so you can not miss a video as soon as it gets out on the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace.